Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Katerina, and as Victoria said, I work as a project manager at a strategic development department in city of Ostrava, Czech Republic. And I'm going to focus on a project that we currently implementing, and it improves air quality through greenery planting and tries to end reduction of air pollution. Let me see if it changes. Yeah, for illustration, Ostrava is the third largest city in Czech Republic that is located on the northeast corner of Czech Republic. And as you can see, the distance between Prague, Vienna, Bratislava, or Warsaw is less than 400 kilometers. Also, we have around or less than 300,000 inhabitants in our city. Just to give you a little context, I'm gonna tell you something about our past. Which was very rich for industrial production. And the plant that you see on the picture, it's a quite gigantic plant, was only within a kilometer from a historical center of Ostrava. Basically, Ostrava is very known for black coal mining and for raw production of raw steel. And the first coal was founded around 1828, and to be correct, the most of the plant within the process of deindustrialization closed by 1998. So obviously it had an impact on air pollution, and not just the air. That picture could have been taken sometime in 60s or 70s, rather 60s, looking at the buses. And at that time, basically, the air pollution was not even a topic. It was not an issue, not a topic. There were more important things in life. It only basically started to get better after the 90s, when the major plants got shut down. Nowadays, going back to the present time, the plant is still there, but it changed the function. It's no longer, as I said, working, but since 2007, it went through a process of transformation and revitalization, and the most dominant and well-preserved buildings were turned into basically something that serves as a cultural, sport, and educational center. And again, this is the skyline of Ostrava. To compare with New York, for instance, it's totally different picture. Just in very brief, this is how it looks like nowadays. In the middle of the industrial site, there is a lot of festivals, like music festivals, sport festivals, gastro festivals, and congresses and conferences held on that site. Here there is a bolt tower. So on the left top corner picture, you can see how it looked before, and now it's turned into a view or observation tower with a coffee shop on the very top. And this again, this is the gas holder, and this was turned into a concert hall. Also, congresses and conferences are held in there, and it can take up to 1,500 viewers. So nowadays it's under a cultural heritage, and but Ostrava still struggles, to be honest, with regards to air pollution. First, it just doesn't go away in 10 or 20, even more years. It's still there because some industrial production was kept, and it's still running. And also the image and the stigma that was created on Ostrava is quite disappointing, even though we've done so much. That's sometimes how people from other cities see our cities. So there is a real need to work on that issue ongoingly. So the main challenges or main sources of air pollution are still heavy industry, household heating. There is a lot of households that still use solid fuels to heat the houses during the winter. So during the winter, when you get the air pollution from heavy industry plus the household heating adds to it, of course, we're the third largest city of Czech Republic, so the road dust is quite significant, and some busy roads are running through a very city center. And also geographical transmission. So we are transmitting air pollution between our regional and the regional of Poland, which is the Upper Silesian regional with Katowice, where also the industrial production is still ongoing. It's transmitted in different proportions. As we say, Czech Republic, because it depends on the winds. So Ostrava is sending air pollution to Poland in smaller proportions, but throughout the whole year. And Poland, because the winds turn, they send large proportions during the winter. And obviously, winter time is the worst time for the air quality, and it is added to it. So. And also the landscape, if you look at the map, topographical map, you can see that Ostrava lays in the basin, and from both sides it has mountains, so it actually gets through from Poland to Ostrava and gets stuck there. So sometimes during the winter you feel like you're in the middle of a pot full of fumes and the lid is on sometimes. So this is quite bad. And therefore, and I should move on to a project CLAIRO. It's a 3-year research project that is actually focused on improving air quality through greenery planting, and rather, as Victoria said, rather more innovative greenery planting, not the standard obvious that we plant wherever we can, but we think it through a little bit. This project or the research is carried by 3 universities, Technical University of Ostrava, a University of City of Olomouc, and University of City of Opava, which we find quite unique, this collaboration, because each university focuses on different aspect of the research, and they just need to collaborate because they use the output of one university to actually continue with their own research. So this is a very unique cooperation, and it is very smooth, I have to say. Then we have 2 NGOs also as a part of the project consortium, and they are focused on dissemination, upscaling, participation, and spreading the know-how and the research results between the general public. The regional office is also a part of consortium because we try to because the problem is not just our city, but also the cities that are around. So it's a regional problem. And City of Ostrava is a lead partner here. And concretely, I am the project coordinator. So when you put questions into a chat, I will not be able to answer anything scientific because my role is to coordinate the project and ensure that the implementation goes smoothly. But anyway, if you have any questions, I can pass it on our university colleagues. So the main objectives of our project is basically to demonstrate that planting urban greenery can capture air pollution, and we try to demonstrate also the methods also basically the capture in extreme conditions. with regards to air quality and soil. We created a little, let's say, living lab where we're trying to test and demonstrate all the captures that I'll be talking about on other slides. And also we try to protect the neighborhoods that are actually close to the plant, that I'll show you on the next pictures, from the main pollution here. On this picture, you can see two locations that we carefully selected for the research. Location A and location B. They're totally different with regards to the ground, to the soil parameters, but both of them are located very close to the plant on the left-hand side, which is still in operation, and it's probably the largest source of air pollution in Ostrava. To talk about more about the locations. So location A, it's a part of a neighborhood called Radvanice. It was a green field and surrounded by urban forest from one side, and with some dwellings on another side. Let's see if I can move it back. You can see it on that picture. So there is a residential area. Here is the urban forest, but there is the very busy road separating the location from the plant. And location B is quite extreme. It is basically an ash field that was created by layers of ash waste from the plant throughout the years, and we thought that would be a perfect place to test basically survival of capture and survival of the newly planted trees. Just for another illustrative slide, Ostrava is divided into 23 city districts or neighborhoods, and I try to picture where the historical center is on the top and where our living lab is located, and also the plant, and it's only about 8 kilometers from the historical center. Here you can see it on the from the bird's eye view. So basically on the right hand side you see location A, location B, the plant, historical center on the top, and on the left hand side there's all the residential areas. So depending on the wind, it can get very tough sometimes. The project CLAIRO I would divide into probably 4 main pillars. That's contribute to the living lab. The key activity is for sure the greenery planting, and this is design of the structure and composition, because it is and some sort of it is based on research. Very essential for us is data collection, because without data we would not be able to create the design of the new greenery, and also we would not be able to predict the capture of the air pollution in the future, but also to have some baseline before the planting, how the capture what the capture was like before the greenery was planted. Another aspect of our living lab is the innovative treatment to ensure that the newly planted trees can survive and stay healthy for decades. In that industrial area, it is essential to treat it somehow, and we developed a special innovative treatment which is applied in a certain way that I'm going to introduce later. And the pillar 4 is basically scaling up. We communicate with other cities that are very close by to Ostrava, and some measuring is ongoing also in other 6 cities that are observing the research, and through also training expert and informing city, we want to create a platform of basically trained experts who can then spread the information further and use this approach in real life. So just to few words about data. Duration of the project is relatively short. It's only 3 years. So it's an actual limitation for the consortium, as you need decades for new plantation to become a mature forest that can actually effectively capture air pollutants. So to be able to predict the future pollutant capture, specific models are developed, and for that we need data. So there is a modular sensor network with 18 sensors spread around the 2 locations, 10 and 8 in each, and they're measuring real data. The data are, or the concentrations are measured every 10 seconds, and every 5-minute intervals they're sent to the central database. This is enormous amount of data, obviously. So the central database is stored in a supercomputer, which is located in the Technical University of Ostrava, one of our partners. So the concentrations that we're watching are named below, but also not just the concentrations. We also monitor climate conditions such wind flow, temperature, humidity, rainfall, pressure, and such. And this all contributed into creation of the design of the greenery. Now, a little bit about the design. The tree species were carefully selected. They were carefully selected, and certain parameters were observed, such as canopy size, the density of canopy, the leaf size, and also branching of the crown. And because there are certain regulations in our law, we had to exclude any foreign species and had to use the native species for our research. So this was also taken into consideration. Also, there was a preference for evergreen tree species because they can capture pollution all around the year. Here on this picture, you can see 2 levels of trees and shrubs that we worked with when designing the structure. Upper level, lower level of the trees and the shrubs. And here on those 2 pictures, there's always location A on the left, and on the right, location B. There is the composition, the spatial arrangement of those different levels, upper, lower level, and shrubs, how they should be planted. So, oh, sorry, that something happened here. Okay, now back on track. Also, one of our university partners, they're the ones that are developing the models of capture and also the design of newly planted greenery. They're also developing plant database. Plant database considers different relevant parameters of tree species, such as tolerance to air pollution, or the ability to capture pollutants. There will be also a foreign tree species included, not just the native species, because obviously this database will be relevant for landscape designer or urban planners across Europe, not just Czech Republic. Here, I would show you the special, or talk about the special treatment Again, in order to make the trees survive the extreme conditions and stay healthy, we are applying a special treatment that is based on phytohormones and biostimulants. And what we've done here on the picture on the right top corner, you can see location A, the green field, and right next to it, there is a sort of a map that divides the space into 3 parts, A, B, and C. The same happens with the other location that, again, you can see it on the left bottom corner, and it's also divided in A, B, C layers. What does it mean? Variant A means that that part of the new greenery we are going to treat with a commercial fertilizer. B is going to be treated with biostimulants, which can promote plant growth and increase nutrient efficiency. And a layer, or part C, is the innovative treatment applied where the plant hormones and also biostimulants are added. And throughout the next year, and obviously another 5 years in sustainability, we will be monitoring the stage of the trees. Just to show you how location A looks nowadays. So the planting was completed in May this year. This picture was taken in September. And here, this is location B, basically the ash field. It also looks much prettier than before. The ash field, basically there is a large air pollution, but also the ground is very contaminated with heavy metals, and the soil is very dry. So we can really say that the conditions there are quite extreme. We have a website. I can put it into the chat, and on the website we have a part in English which is rather more basic than the part in Czech, but also there will be all the outputs added. So all the models that we're developing will be translated and will be added to the website as well. We developed a manual for the cities, so it's a sort of a cookbook for the cities with instructions. It's a guidelines on instructions how to take on a different approach when planting greenery. And also we developed methodology which is rather more academic, so it will be used by experts. Another output will be plant database and study on behavioral changes. This will be developed with the NGOs. They have done some surveys with about over 1,000 respondents, and based on that they created this study. It also is translated to English and will be added to our website. And trainings and consultations for city representatives and experts, that's also a key output. So this was CLAIRO. The project will end next year in April, and if we're lucky and the COVID will not interfere again, we will organize an international conference, which we want to locate into that site that I showed you, the former industrial site that I showed you at the very beginning. And therefore you are all invited. Just watch out for our website news, and there will be all details about the conference. What else we're trying to do as a city to reduce air pollution is road sweeping. City has a fleet of sweeping vehicles. By law, you need to sweep and clean the roads twice a year, but we do it 6 times a month. And the city clears not just the roads that belong to the city, but we also drive through the regional and national roads. And also the little vehicle on the top, it drives through the parks just to ensure that the air pollution is reduced. Especially, it can actually clear PM 2.5. Green roofs, it's another, I think, way and trend in urban planning nowadays, since there is less and less space to place greenery within the cities. So we need to go up to the roofs. So this is also a part of the former industrial site where you can see green roofs. Urban gardens made of perennial flower beds. This is another way we try to work with not just reducing air pollution, because as Tomáš was talking about the barriers, there should be hedges. It's rather lower, these perennial beds, but also they still can capture some CO2. They retain water, and they also look rather more attractive. So they divide and separate sidewalks from the roads. And these are the green belts along the tram rails. So the original grid that used to be there is gradually replaced by those green belts, which are very good in retaining water. They also can reduce some concentration of air pollutions, but mainly they are reducing the noise, which was also mentioned here before. And reduction of noise is not the part of CLAIRO, but I think this is a huge problem nowadays in the cities, and it does not have enough of attention, I would say. So this is also a step forward that can work at least at the around the trams. And this is all from me. So thank you very much for your attention, and should you have any questions, yeah, I'm available. Thank you.
Katerina, thank you so much for this presentation. I'm sure that all the participants want to now go to Ostrava, because what you showed was amazing, especially Ashfield, the transformation of that. And I think your presentation really showed how complicated it is to think in systems in terms of planting greenery and trying to tackle air pollution. And the greening part is only one little piece of the whole thing, and it's already so complicated. And my question would be the behavior change study. What is it about? Is it about the burning habits of the citizens?
Yeah, there was the questions in the surveys. They actually tackled citizens in a way of what are you willing to do yourself to actually change the air pollution. So and people are saying, yes, we don't like the air that's here. We would like to do something, but not anything that will have an impact on our comfort. So so this is basically, the study comes from the results of the survey, which is also on our website. It's quite concrete and detailed there. So yeah, there is a will, but do not touch my comfort too much. So if we talk about reducing number of cars passing through the city center, that's a big problem, because people want to be comfortable in their cars and go from the door to the door. So we still need to work on those, mental changes, which might take a little longer here.
Okay, please put the website address in the chat, and I'm really interested in the answers, and just a bit of a Hungarian flavor here, if I may. There was Prime Minister candidate discussion last week, and one of the 2 weeks ago, and one of the points from one of the candidates was that he wants to reduce air pollution by kind of punishing people for heating their homes with not the perfect materials, so not the right materials. So it's an interesting debate, and also shows that this is only a piece of the puzzle here. So you just cannot treat. You just cannot get one actor out, take one actor out of the system and say that, okay, you should change, but this whole, it should be treated in a holistic way and way more complicated than just, okay, let's find the people and tell them something. So it's a very, very nice, this presentation in systems thinking terms. Okay, we have a lot of
I'll try to
Yes.
I'll try to write some answers if I can.
Yes, so Agnieszka wrote that this post-industrial area is a very interesting place to visit, so we would like to get an invitation if possible.
Agnieszka was there in person.
Yeah. So we would also like to go. Okay, Mark says that it was great to see your project evolving. Are there any results?
Thank you, Mark.
Are there any results to share on types of greenery already? Will there be a model that actually would be accurate with all the difficult parameters and limited time? This is a very good question. Yeah.
Because we're gonna have at the end of the project, we're gonna have a complete model of dispersion, of capture, and it will be complete model. But obviously, we only planned it in May this year, and the project finishes in April next year. So there's only 11 months for it. So that's why we're gonna have the models of predictions, of the future predictions. So but anyway, all the models, they will be available at the end of the projects on the website.
Mary says, amazing project, very hopeful to see such a coordinated approach to improving air pollution, which if improved human health, but also planet health. Thank you for sharing. And good. Carmen and Inge are made remarks about the mental change, like how did you involve the people to change their behavior? So is it part of the project or it's not?
How the mental
survey?
It's so not how, but it will be basically what we understand from the surveys is the approach of the people, and well, some recommendations how to change it. It's more again guidelines for the cities and how to work with the citizens, doing campaigns and participatory events and introduce them to basically the right behavior. But it's not but we cannot change people within our project duration.
Okay, thank you very much. And another one from Laura. Have you studied how trees and greenery change microclimate and winds, so that when you get more emissions from Poland, emissions could be redirected away from the living area? So have you studied that?
Studied. This is basically related, I would say that question is related to the design and the composition, the spatial composition of the trees, because this is when they were designing where the tree with the upper height and lower height and the shrubs should be, they were considering the wind flow, they were considering the temperature. So this should probably not divert, but it should capture. So also this will be visible, or that those results we're not having as yet. But again, there are some predictions, and we work with that, with those parameters.
Thank you very much. And Laura also put here a source. There has been a guide for people to burn wood wisely and how to storage wood well. And this discussion is really, really interesting. And I'm sorry, but we have to end it here. But right now, it seems that planting all these trees, gathering all data seems to be easier than changing behaviors, which is a bit
For
tragic
sure.
here. So we should really work on that part as well. And I'm afraid that some guides will not be enough for that. So that also needs to be a complex approach.
Yeah.
Very, very exciting topic, because heating could really reduce the air pollution. If
We
done
have
right.
some national funding programs that people can apply for, just the regular residents, in order to change their heating into ecological heatings. So many do so, but there's still mainly the older generations, because that time, as I said, air pollution was not a topic. This is the way it was, and many of them still don't understand that there is something wrong about it. So they do not change the solid fuel heatings to something ecological, because they don't understand. So also it's I think it's a generation problem.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think it would worth one separate presentation, by the way. And unfortunately, we have to stop the discussion here. Thank you, everyone, to be so active. And
thank you very much,
Katerina. I hope we will see Ostrava and you next year at your conference. Please keep us posted about it.
Would be a pleasure.
So,
okay, bye.
Thank you very much.